Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about how to make the GR Yaris suspension work for you best, eliminate all the vibrations, eliminate all the understeer while spending the least amount of money possible. Remember, this is the no bullshit channel and this is in no way advertised content. So I'm just going to tell you what will make the difference, and imagine what? It's not about coilovers. Okay, so you want to make the system of the suspension arms work for you. You want it more rigid, you want it stronger, and you want it to keep these camber and toe angles where they are when you're driving hard. Because all this sloppiness you feel in the car comes exactly from that. It's made in a way that it has to last in time, it has to, let's say, go on gravel, go wherever, whichever case of misuse is possible, but this is not what you need. Because if you're watching this video, you're one of the enthusiasts that want to go very fast with their car, and I'll tell you what this is. So, 4 simple points, very quick. Front lower arm, the triangular arm under the MacPherson. You want to get one bushing, only one, and you will buy it from Powerflex Black Series. This is a no play that needs also no lubrication ball joint with a huge sphere that takes away the play that there is. You want to know what I'm talking about? No problem. Go to your mechanics. Get the car up or just get under the car yourself at home, get a lever, go to the rear bushing of your front arm and try to move it. You will be really astonished of how much it moves from series. This bushing, by the way, gives you the possibility of adding caster that also gives you more stability in the feeling of the steering wheel at high speeds. So this is a very good thing. So this is the front, and only with this it's covered. Now let's go to the rear. You need one arm for sure. Once again, this isn't sponsored, beware. You need the longitudinal arm, this big long part, and this part has got a lot of play. So a cheap way to fix it is companies like Verkline or DNA sell a solid uniball bushing for this. And this will already eliminate all the play. They say it's bad NVH and all this, but let me say, apart from small severe bumps that, like when you go through a doorway or something, you will not feel a difference, so it's fine. And it will transform the way the car performs. But if you want to take it a step further, Verkline, other companies I've seen like Hard Race, I do not trust today by quality. Verkline makes it in aluminium, not in steel, and they make an arm that not only is much more rigid than the standard part, so it keeps more the system, the cinematics of the rear suspension straighter under stress, but also it has the possibility of taking away squat points, so adding anti-squat. For who doesn't know what this is, it's basically a geometry gimmick that enables you to pass through the forces of the car accelerating and going to the rear through the suspension geometry instead of through the suspension itself. So, personally, I come from a career in rallies and I daily drive my car, and I like to drive it on rally roads, Recce, whatever. So, I would not want to use this feature of this arm that enables you to use the stock feature too, so that's fantastic. But you have this possibility, because, for example, if I were to go and do a lot of track days on the track, I would not want the squat, but I would like the car to stay more true to the rake it has, without having to fit very strong suspension springs, or just keeping it stock. because here we are talking about keeping stock suspension, and whatever you're doing from this video will work perfectly and improve all the same all the rest of the suspension mods and coilovers you can add to it. But coilovers are not the first thing, in my opinion, obviously. So this is the longitudinal arm. Why do you want squat? Squat is needed because it means that the force is actually passing through the suspension itself. It means that it takes bumps in a better way, in a more compliant way. It means that your wheels remain more in contact with the surface. So if you are daily driving your car and using it in this way, not only on the track, you do want squat. But it also does another thing. This squatting of the car loads up the rear wheels, and it increments the time of transition from the load from the front to the rear when the car squats. If you put anti-squat, this becomes very much quicker, the transition. So this translates in real world sweaty driving and the fact that the car becomes more nervous to an extent, obviously, but it does become more nervous. So I wouldn't want this on a rally car or on a daily driven car where I go on rally roads, but I would want it on the track. And this is discovered. Then you have the rear camber arms that are the banana-shaped arms, and then you have the toe arms that are the lower straight arms. Okay. Not many people get it, but these are very, very important. Why? Because in the front we have a McPherson system. And we all know that McPherson gives you one-to-one camber to the height of the vehicle. So in our cars it's about, let's say, 1.4 and 1.5 degrees of camber from stock, depending on how much the car has been used, so how much the springs have settled. This is 1.5, where 1.6 is equal to 2 degrees, okay, in 60th of a degree. So whatever there is in the back, you have to go with it if you're stock. But with these adjustable arms that I have on my car, I showed them in previous videos, I can dial in or out the camber and the toe in a way that is very precise and that stays, because they're also uniballs, so they also take away the movement of the suspension and the wheels itself under squat and under hard driving. So personally I keep my rear tires more or less, depending on the season, between minus a 25th of the degree to minus half a degree less camber than the front wheels. And I keep my front wheels open in globally 2 millimeters and the rear wheels closed globally at 1 millimeter. That means that it's half a millimeter by side and 1 by side in the front. Okay, so you try this, you make these very small changes, very cheap money, because it's not much, consider the cost of coilovers and this, and you drive your car. And you're gonna see a huge difference already. From that stage, you decide what coilover to install, if you want to install one, because it's not always needed, depending on the use you make of the car. So I'm gonna see you very soon for the next video. Have a great time, guys. Cheers!